Hello trail riding horseback fans, Bill and Christine Dean here bringing you a B-Bar-C Adventures trail ride in Montana's spectacular Glacier National Park.
Morning. Have a good day.
You go first. Joining us on this ride are two of our favorite trail riding companions, Mike and Susie Drugas. This video is part one of a beautiful ride to the Ptarmigan Tunnel and on to Iceberg Lake. This video will feature the Ptarmigan Tunnel ride. Part 2 of this ride will feature the Iceberg Lake Trail, so be sure to watch for that video when I get it processed and posted. We begin this ride at the Swiftcurrent motor inn where the Iceberg Ptarmigan Trailhead begins. We were in the saddles right as the morning sun began to light the high peaks with a beautiful glow. We rode the Ptarmigan Trail past Ptarmigan Falls, where we took a switchbacking right at the beginning of the Iceberg Lake Trail. This was to continue the climb to Ptarmigan Lake and the tunnel beyond. The steepest pull for the horses is the 1.7 miles from the Iceberg Lake intersection to Ptarmigan Lake, but it's nice and wide and was no problem for our horses. As the trail climbs to the tunnel above Ptarmigan Lake, it does narrow up a bit, but we found it to be well maintained and safe. It is our hope in you watching this video that it will inspire you to possibly bring your own horses, because horseback riding is the heritage of Glacier National Park. But we'll touch on that here in just a little bit. Now, a little history about early saddle horse operations in Glacier and the construction of the Ptarmigan Tunnel. Just after the turn of the century, saddle horse operators began taking the many visitors using the Great Northern Railway, which crossed Marias Pass just to the south of what was to become Glacier National Park in 1910. The small saddle horse operators continued to expand their services, operating mostly from their home camps, but using pack strings to extend their trips over longer periods of time. It was not until 1911, a year after the park was established, that the first semi-permanent type of tent camps came into being, thereby enabling saddle horse parties to travel long distances through the park without having to set up camp each night. Between 1910 and 1915, the saddle horse operators within the park consisted of a number of independent operators, each under permit to the National Park Service and each operating in their own manner and at their own price. In 1915, under the leadership of an attorney from Kalispell, Montana, a number of these small operators were combined as the Park Saddle Horse Company with their base ranch on the St. Mary River several miles east of the park near Babb, Montana. The Park Saddle Horse Company continued to grow under the brand Bar X6 Outfitters until at one time it owned over 1,000 head of horses and was the largest saddle horse outfit of its kind in the world, handling over 10,000 park visitors a year on the park trails. This large number of horseback tourists prompted the outfitters and the Park Service to look at various ways that they could promote different loops throughout the park so that returning visitors would not have to ride the same trail. Well, there was one portion of the park that seemed to be a little isolated from the rest, and that was the northeast corner of the Belly River area. The Bar X6 outfitters and the Park Service considered the trail over Red Gap Pass out of the Swiftcurrent mini glacier area to be probably a little too intense for both the horses and the tourists. Thus was born the need for a shorter route, and the idea of the Ptarmigan Tunnel was born. Construction of the Ptarmigan Tunnel began in 1930 from each side of the high rocky ridge which it was driven through. They used opposing steel jackhammers drilling from either side of the tunnel and a series of 10-hole rounds of dynamite, and gradually broke through the mountain in less than 3 months. There is a parapet wall and a wide area for guide and tourist horses on each portal of the tunnel. And now, over 90 years later, the Ptarmigan Tunnel and the Ptarmigan Trail still provide a wonderful access between the Mini Glacier Swiftcurrent area and the Belly River area of Glacier National Park. The Bar X6 outfitters took thousands of tourists through the Ptarmigan Tunnel and into the Belly River over the years, but then the numbers began to fall off with the completion of the Going to the Sun Road and the advent of automobile travel, and also when World War II started up, the numbers were greatly affected due to the war effort. So in 1942 they filed to cease operations, thus ending many, many years of horseback tourism on a large scale in Glacier National Park.
I see it, Susie. I see the tunnel. Come on, buddy, a little more. Don't leave him on the bad stuff.
Kind of spectacular up here, you know?
Yeah.
Incredible.
A little more.
It's not real tall.
Mike, tell me he'll be ours. Seriously. Oh, Susie,
It's a marmot. Hi, buddy. Bet you get lots of visitors up here, huh?
that's that. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is cool. Hey, heads up, heads up, heads up. Come on. Sorry, we were at a critical place there.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Did you see any scenery up here? I didn't think so.
There's a squirrel. Huh?
What do you think of this, baby?
Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. That must be Lake Elizabeth.
He's with the Lord.
Yeah.
And the horse, I hope.
Yeah,
the horse is dead too. Wow, this is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We tried this last year on the trail.
Oh,
Bill, we did it.
we did it.
We're now gonna be on the YouTube.
The Ptarmigan Tunnel was blasted through the sheer rock of the Ptarmigan Wall for a distance of 250 feet. And in 1975, the heavy iron doors were hung on each portal to keep it from filling with snow every winter. I've included this downhill portion of the ride because you really never have ridden a trail unless you've ridden it both directions. Plus, I felt like the downhill gave it just a little bit better perspective of how steep the trail is in the upper portion. We hope you have enjoyed it. So please give us a like, thumbs up there, and feel free to share and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you. Yeah, and we'll probably run up to Iceberg.